The Dads That Game radio podcast is brought to you by Video Games Monthly. Video Games Monthly is a monthly subscription service that delivers retro video games to gamers who own classic gaming systems from the 1980s through 2000s. And the best part is, you keep the games. Check us out at videogamesmonthly.com.
Live from his wife's basement, still gaming into their elder years. This is the Dads That Game radio podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Wolf and William Small.
Welcome to the Dads That Game radio podcast. I'm your host, Michael Wolf. With me, as always, is William Small. It's a rough week, yeah. Especially after the news that we just found out today. We'll talk about it. Hopefully, I mean, just know out there if you're listening, if you need somebody to talk to, please email us. Please, call us. We'll take your call. We'll take your emails. If you want to message us on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, please just let us know. It's a pretty big blow for the gaming community today. But we'll, I hate this feeling because it's like, it's like I want to be funny and I want to be, bring you information and have a good time and everything like that. And then just, things like this, just horrible.
Bring it down, yeah.
Yeah. What we're obviously talking about is there was another shooting in Jacksonville, this time at a Madden competition. We'll bring you all the details that we know so far, but let us say our stupid promos real quick, and then we'll start off the show here. But please check us out. Obviously, www.noobsandpros.com. Thank you Thursday nights for sticking around. You can check us out on the Podcast Radio Network. You can download their apps, the Crikey app, the TuneIn app. You can find us there 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you to our friends Player One Coffee. Please make sure you support them. PlayerOneCoffee.com. My microphone's cutting out. Hold on a second. Interesting. I really hope I don't lose my microphone here. We'll see what happens. You still hear me?
Right.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, it's still recording. My mic. Hold on. I'm gonna pause. Hold on. And we're back. All right, sorry about that. My microphone got all choppy. That was really weird. But thank you. Obviously, PlayerOneCoffee.com. Check us out. Use keyword Dads the Game at checkout for 5% off your first time order. Before we obviously get into the show, we wanted to devote obviously the entire show to kind of Gamescom and things that came out of Gamescom this week. But it's Sunday. It's the 26th of August, and this news is just devastating. Here's what we know. So around obviously 1:30 p.m., there were 911 calls reporting a shooting in a Chicago Pizza in Jacksonville, Florida. Sheriff Mike Williams said at a press conference soon after the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office tweeted that a public should stay away from the area. At least 3 people were killed, including the shooter. Williams said 9 others were injured by gunshot and 2 more by other means. Authorities tentatively identified a suspect, 24-year-old. I'm not even going to read his name. I'm not going to give him praise. But he allegedly used a handgun in the shooting. The shooting took place during a Madden NFL video game tournament at the GLHF Game Bar, which is Good Luck, Have Fun, which is just more devastating that's the name of the place. Which is next door to Chicago Pizza. According to the event's Facebook page, it was a $5,000 tournament qualifying event for a national competition sponsored by EA. EA is they put out a statement already too, and I mean they're just as devastated that this happened. The sad thing is too, it was live streamed on Twitch, and you can see everything that happened. You can see, unfortunately, I guess there was, the 2 main players were playing, and then there's a red dot on the left shoulder pops up, and then you just hear gunshots. I'm not gonna read the shooter's name. I'm not. This is where we have to stop. We have to stop giving praise to shooters because it's not okay for anymore. So I'm not even gonna give him the glory of his name. He's a shooter, and now he's dead because he took his own life. Travesty on all parts for anybody that lost themselves, and it's a travesty for him too. Because life is worth living. Obviously, I understand being upset, and I understand, mental illness. I really do. If I've dealt with it a lot with my family. I come from a very broken family because of it. I know how it is to lose your mind when you're upset like that, but to go to this extent, it's obviously not okay. I don't want to say thoughts and prayers to the victims of this. I just want you guys to know that we are a community of gamers. We're in this together. When you hurt, we hurt. Man, I'm tearing up. I'm sorry. It really bugs me. It really does because as a gamer, that's what I've always respected about our community. I've always respected the fact that it's like, we talk trash. We rouse, ruse each other. We poke fun at each other, but it's all in good fun at the end of the day. Yeah. And it's like, if you're not just a total D-bag or, a dick, the community is very accepting, and especially for a kid like me that, obviously I was never super popular in high school and, gaming, I found an end with gaming, it's like, that's how I still have some of my best friends today is because we common bonded over video gaming, and it's just really troubling to hear that this happened, at a video game event. It's troubling to hear anytime, obviously a mass shooting happens like this. Obviously, I know, obviously, everybody's like thoughts and prayers, but it just honestly just doesn't do any good. Something has to change in this country. It does, and obviously, I'm not going to get political. We're not going to go down that avenue, but it just, as a gamer, just know that. Like I said, I think I said it best. If you're hurting right now, just know that I'm hurting right there with you. Because I love this community of gaming. I really do. I love my city that I live in. Because we're growing as a community, and it's like, and that's all it is. It's like we're supposed to be a community of gamers. We're supposed to have each other's best interests in mind. I know sometimes trash talk gets intense. I know sometimes it may feel unfair when you're playing video games, when somebody beats you. I don't know the whole situation of what caused this blow up. I really don't. Obviously, in the coming days, I'm sure they'll find out.
Yeah,
but
they'll find more.
I just, like I said, I hate the feeling. I really do. I'm just being human with you guys. I mean, obviously, when we do this show, I usually, I switch personas, and I'm, wacky Mike that says, different things. But I'm, right now, I'm just Mike. I'm not even trying to be funny or anything like that. I know there's obviously people that lost their family members today, and everybody's been there. Everybody's felt that feeling. I know we all live in situations to where we've lost somebody close to us. We and just to have that part of you ripped away, it just brings back bad feelings altogether. But I think I'm just more disappointed that this happened in our community. It hit so close because it's like, I understand it's never good, a situation. Obviously, I grew up in the time of Columbine. I was in high school when Columbine happened, the first mass. It wasn't the first mass shooting, but it was the first one that was really media, basically the media took care, over and turned it into this huge thing. It was a very scary time to be in high school, at that time. I remember I was a sophomore in high school. And it was just super scary because it was like you had people that were angry and saying they were going to do the same things. And then it's like you had people that were upset that, they felt like their culture was being attacked because the kids were wearing trench coats and listening to Marilyn Manson. And it's like people, grasped on to everything that was being said of like, this is the reason why. But honestly, I think the reason why sometimes is because we just don't listen, Yeah. I think Marilyn Manson said it best is, he was asked, what would you do? What would you say, to the kids at Columbine? And he said, I would say nothing. He was like, I would listen to them, And I mean, honestly, in this situation too, I'm not going to publicize his name because like I said, I'm not going to give him glory, and I think that's where we need to stop. But I would listen to this individual. Like, why do you think you need to do this? Because I mean, I can give you a billion reasons why. You know, I can talk you out of it. You know, there is another day. You know, obviously, I understand being upset, disappointed, feeling that sense of loss. But I promise you, you made the decision today, and I'm talking to the shooter now. You made the decision today to stop that. Obviously he ended his own life, so there's no more chances for you, my friend. You're gone. So, and I hope that's a lesson to everybody out there. And I'm busting out my dad voice right now. Is that, I understand if you lose, if things are hard and things like that, but to make this decision to where you take the lives of others, you cheat them out of their lives, and then you cheat yourself out of your life. There's always another day. Obviously until the world stops spinning, or whatever end we all come to as a collective whole. I have no idea. I'm not a future teller, but life is worth living, guys. I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you, is that it's it's hard in this world. I get it. I don't know what kind of mental impairment you have, or mental illness you have, or what generation you grew up into. And I'm speaking mostly to millennials right now. Like, millennials, like, I don't know where the age gap difference between, like, my generation, me and Will's generation, roughly, and then this generation, to where it's like, if I don't get my way, or if I don't, if things don't go, right for me, it's the end of the world, and that's further from the truth, because it's like,
it's not that way.
It's not that way. You just got to keep trying. You keep trying. You keep, it makes you a better person, and it makes you better if you try hard. You have to try hard. You have to keep going until we all stop, until the last day. If you feel your heartbeat in your chest, that right there, that's a purpose. You have a purpose in this world, and it's not to cheat others out of their own lives and cheat yourself out of your own life. And obviously, I'm upset by the whole situation, but it really hit close to. I mean, I know it's in Florida. I'm in Iowa. Will's in Massachusetts. We're nowhere near close to this situation. I had no idea these victims. I have no idea the shooter. I don't know them personally, but because it is a gaming community, it really hit close to home with me today.
Yep.
And it just really bugs me. And I I don't really know what else to say about it. I mean, like I said, we're not going to give glory to the shooter. I'm not even going to read his name, just because that's how I feel. Like, I feel like when you read his name and make him human, and it's like you're basically, you're setting up the situation for somebody else out there being like, wow, I can get famous too. And that's how a lot of people think, unfortunately, is that if they were so famous doing it, they'll wait till they get a hold of me. And we can blame it on guns, and we can blame it on, a billion different other things. But honestly, it all comes down to just people. And you need to we're the human race. And I think a lot of people forget that, because I hear the word racist a lot, and it's like, I don't understand. I understand people can be bigots, but we're all the human race. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. You're white, black, brown. It doesn't matter. Red. I mean, we're all people. We're all human. We're all made of the same, blood and guts and heartbeats. And we need to start treating each other like that. I mean, I know we have differences. I know we have, obviously bigotries and things like that. But honestly, I always thought of the gaming community as this community that it doesn't matter your skin color, your sexual orientation, your mindset, your political beliefs, your religion, or anything like that. We all just came together as a community, and we were, basically just like, just come play. If you have a dispute, pick up the sticks. Let's fight it out.
Let's play the game.
Yeah, let's see who the best is. If you're not the best today, maybe you'd be the best tomorrow.
Play some more, and you can try again. It's really
that
stuff. I don't know. All right. Well.
So, yeah. I feel bad. I really do, and obviously we're not gonna devote the whole show to it. I'm not going to, but I just know that. If you ever need anybody to talk to, just message us. I mean, I'll put myself out there. Just, if you ever want to call me, it's 515-991-1756. We can have a conversation. I promise. I'm not going to turn you away. But like I said, this one just kind of, it hurt me. just because I always thought of, like I said, a gaming community is a gaming community. So
Yeah.
just hurts. So, but let's start off with the show. Obviously, let's start off with the games you can get yourself. So get to play this week. A lot of cool games, a lot of exciting games coming out. So let's talk about obviously weekend release. This is going to cover you from the 27th through the first of September. So it's only four more months until the end of the year, man. It's crazy to say, but it's happening. So the year has gone by too quick, man. So it really has.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's talk about the games you can get yourself a hands on. And there's one in here that I don't see on the list, but I'm going to add it in. Strange Brigade. I don't know if you guys heard of that one, but I am actually really excited for that one. But that one's let's start off obviously with the week. It's like I said, this will cover you from the 27th, I'm sorry, through the 1st. But starting on the 28th, a lot of games coming out. You can get yourself Blade Strangers on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Yakuza Kiwami 2. I have no idea where I came up with that name. I'm sorry. Yakuza Kiwami 2 on PlayStation 4. D-Blob 2. That game's been out before on other systems, but it's coming over on the Switch. Monster Hunter Generations on the Nintendo Switch. Please enlighten me on this game, because it's been out on 3DS before. So
yeah,
this was the last Monster Hunter game that they put out on 3DS, wasn't it? Or am I totally wrong? Yeah.
No, well, it might be something different, but it seems like I thought it was the same game that came out on 3DS, just like updated for the Switch.
Yeah. Well, was this the one that came out on the 3DS that you had to buy the new 3DS for?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, then I'm aware of it. Okay, but it's coming over to Switch on the 28th, which is not too bad. It was a fun game. I'm going to butcher this name, and I know it. Shikondo Soul Eater on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch coming out on the 28th as well. You can get yourself Victor Vran. Also, another that's on Nintendo Switch. Another fun game that actually has been getting a lot of buzz. Fire Pro Wrestling World. It's coming over to PlayStation 4, getting a lot of cool. It's really kind of homage to the old wrestling games, but it's getting a lot of buzz. So I'm actually pretty excited. And then obviously the last game coming out on the 28th, Strange Brigade. Been getting a lot of. I mean it's I would say it's not really getting a lot of like public attention, but like I've been seeing videos about it and things like that. It looks amazing.
It does look really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost. I would say the game. I'm not. I had an argument with Brian earlier because he's like, it really looks like Left 4 Dead, and I'm like, I swear to God, Brian, I'm like, stop comparing games to games.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it really does though. I mean, it's kind of like the same concept. This one is like it's set in Egypt, and then I mean, it's just waves and waves of like mummies and things like that. So. It's still, I mean, it's definitely going to be worth, obviously, your time. But I hate to be the guy that's like, it's like Left 4 Dead, or it's like, it's like Dead Souls. But I mean, apparently you can't get, away from those comparisons. I mean, I'm trying not to compare, apples to oranges here, but I mean, it is kind of the same thing. So sorry, it just happened. But that's it. Yeah, that game is going to be on PlayStation 4 and obviously Xbox One. I don't know if it's on PC. If it is, cool. But the only thing I've heard so far is it's Xbox and PS4. I'm going to get it on PS4. I know Brian and Sean from Noobs and Pros, my friends, are going to be able to. They're going to get on PS4 as well. So I think we'll check out Brian's stream too. So go to noobsandpros.com or check us out on Facebook.com as well. Just Noobs and Pros, because Brian is actually streaming a lot more since his kids are in school now. So that happened. Yeah. So he has more time on his hands now because he doesn't have to deal with the kids anymore. So very cool. But definitely check that out. I'm guaranteeing probably you'll probably start seeing that game a lot more streamed, and I'm sure you'll probably hear from yours truly too. I'm going to be gone for the week though, so when it comes out, which sucks, but when I get back, it's Labor Day weekend, so I can't complain. You get the 3-day weekend. But I will be in Kansas City all week. So training people to, to do the parts of my job that I do. So very cool, but it takes me away for a week. So away from my family and my video games. So which one am I more upset about? You be the judge. No, I'm more upset about being away from my family, but it's all good. But starting on the 29th, you can get yourself Western 1849 Reloaded on Nintendo Switch. That looks interesting. What was that on originally? Not sure. It was on PC before, so that's been out before too. You can get yourself, that was it for the 29th. On the 30th, you can get yourself The Video Kid on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo is not stopping with these third-party or AD remake games. Like, seriously. Like, it's just, that's the mecca, the hub of that.
The train, yeah.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, obviously we're talking about Gamescom today, but on Gamescom, the Saints Row 3 was announced that it's going to be on Switch as well, coming there too. So
so weird.
It's
that
just
game just won't go away.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, any excuse you can, pick up a dildo and run around the, the city slapping people with it.
It's ridiculous.
It's the most ridiculous game ever. Yeah. If you think I'm being inappropriate, I'm not. That's actually what happens in that game. But also you can get yourself Real Politics with a K on Nintendo Switch. That looks interesting. Freedom Planet that's on the 30th. Also, by the way, Freedom Planet on Nintendo Switch. Fall Light on Nintendo Switch. Big one. Obviously, Will's been excited for this one on the 31st. Divinity Original Sin 2 coming over to PS4 and Xbox One.
Very excited.
A lot of people are excited. So very cool to see that's coming over. Notified on PC. Moonfall on the. Actually, I'm sorry, that's it. So Notified on PC is the last game you're going to be able to get yourself for the month of August, and then September. Oh boy, September, do we get some surprises for you? Yeah. Oh, dear Jesus, hold on. Especially a certain Marvel game coming out that everybody and their mother is talking about right now. So, should be very, very cool. See how it all plays out. So, but let's get into the show. Obviously, like I said, just, man, that shooting really bugged me today, man. So I'm sorry if I'm not really chipper right now, but just like I said, sometimes
it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes you need to heal and just put it out there. Like I said, if anybody wants to talk about it, just please let us know, because I think just to diminish or dispute obviously anything that you're going to hear in the next couple of days, I guarantee this is going to be on every major news network starting tomorrow.
Yep.
It's already been on a lot of them, today, but. I mean, you're going to hear story after story about it. You'll hear, eyewitness news. Well, eyewitness reviews and things like that. And it's going to be one of those things where it's just going to be very saturated. But to anybody that ever even thinks this in their head, like this is an acceptable way to get attention, please call me. Please call me, man. Honestly, I know that's a dangerous place to put myself in, but I honestly, I would rather be your friend and talk to you than have you lash out like this and cheat yourself out of a life experience that it's gonna have ups and downs, but it's gonna be an adventure every single day. I promise you.
Yeah.
But to also cheat others out of that life experience as well. So, just like I said, man, we're all in this together. We're the human race. There's a lot of different, obviously, personalities and jerks and interesting people that you're going to meet along your way, but that's the adventure part, man. Life is the ultimate video game because it's an adventure every day. So don't ever cheat yourself out of that. That's all I got to say. But let's talk about the news you can use this week. And I'm sorry, I don't want to cheat your opinion out of it either, Will. Let's talk. Let's talk for a minute before we get into the news. How are you feeling, man? Because like I said, I'm super hurt.
It's one of those things, I don't, we keep saying, I don't want to give any more credit to what the person did.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like that's what they want. They want credit for their actions. And the more people publicize it, the more it gives somebody else hey, you did that, I'm going to do this too.
Right.
Yeah. It's not, I don't know, it's just not okay.
I said,
cutting people, cutting someone else's life short.
Yeah.
Because you're not happy with yourself or you're not happy with your situation. It's such an unfair thing to do.
Yeah.
granted, people hurt, people have bad situations, people have things that come up where they don't know that they're a good person, or they think that they're bad,
right.
and they think that the only way to stop it is to hurt themselves. I mean, I get it, but it's not true. You don't need to do that. There are many voices out there that will tell you repeatedly, hey, you know what? There's people out there for anybody.
Yeah.
If you need help, all you got to do is ask.
Just ask.
There's always people out there that will help you.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I don't know, it's horrible, and I don't know really what else to say other than, again, we're a community of people that a lot of people don't feel safe. Like in general, like they're uncomfortable around other people.
Yeah.
They game because by being able to play online with other people, they can get away from the fact that they're uncomfortable with real human interaction.
Yeah.
And then stuff like this, it's going to make those people even take one step further back.
Sure.
And it just hurts so many people. So,
well, and I think that's why I'm kind of most upset about it, because I feel that sentiment, 100% is that, gaming it's an escape for a lot of people, not just myself, but a lot. And for that to happen to our community, I mean, it just unreal, but I mean, like you said, we're not going to give glory to the situation. So we're not going to talk about it for a super amount of time, but I do care about people's feelings. I did want to see how you were doing. Obviously that's how we became friends, is gaming, and it's like, I do treasure your friendship and anybody else that's, supported us or as a part of our community. If you're not part of our community, please join us. We're, like I said, we're all on this trip together, so please don't feel like an outsider ever with us, because we're all inclusive. But I did want to, obviously, before we start the news, actually, I did want to take just a minute to thank everybody that came out to Battlegrounds last night. We had a lot of fun. It was really, really cool. There's a Drinks with Friends podcast. They were out there and they interviewed me and Brian. So please make sure please make sure you go support them. Those guys are amazing. They said they're actually going to come back. So it was very cool to have them out there. They're very big in our local community. John from Nerd Noise Radio, he came out last night and it was really cool. I got to sit down and talk to him for a while. And we talked about, different point of views from our city and just, how proud we are of our city. And it was just really good conversation all around. And I just, good vibes, like all night. Like we had a great time. Dupree was out there, and he was schooling everybody and, obviously, Dragon Ball fighters, like he always does. I did not realize his rank now. We thought he was top 300. He's like 156. And on up there. In the world on Xbox. So that's pretty crazy. So it was just really cool. Just a really cool night. I mean, we had like a big set. We had like a big, main stage set up with our big TV, and then like we hooked up a PlayStation and Xbox to it, and we just had chairs like in a semicircle, and it just like people just all around, just watching, these guys fight. So it was awesome. So, and I hope, like I said, I really hope that we can, reach out to, build that bigger in our community. It was just really cool. So thank you to everybody who keeps on supporting us, and check out, we do this every month too. So check us out, noobsandpros.com. You can check out our dates. We put up flyers all the time. So please make sure that, you stay with us, and everybody's welcome. So there's there may be some trash talk in there, but I promise you everybody leaves with a smile on their face, and obviously it's a good time all around. We have games from parents to younger kids. We have games for everybody. So please come on out. But let's talk about the news. Obviously, like I said, we're going to try to devote the majority of it to Gamescom. Gamescom did happen this weekend. Really cool stuff that we saw in Gamescom. So obviously we'll start off with what I thought was the kind of the bigger stories of Gamescom, because there was a ton of like indie stuff and ton of stuff. Obviously Gamescom is just this huge convention in Germany, Cologne, Germany. A lot of it obviously was like fanfare and things like that, and then they bring in developers and things like that, and they talk about their games. I would say Blizzard had a really good conference too. Blizzard really didn't give any like new information except for like a couple things. Obviously Diablo, and then they had this like I was watching and Naomi Kyle was hosting it, but they had the costume contest. And I watch BlizzCon every year. I would say the one like in Gamescom like almost was like way better than the one that they have at BlizzCon. Because the hours that these people spend on these costumes, like there was a Doomfist, and this guy made the whole Doomfist metal arm, and it was all mechanical. Spent a year building this thing. And just the time and money and hours that these people put in these costumes. And I know, obviously, at BlizzCon, too, you see them, too. But a lot of the times, too, you just see kind of, ones that they kind of sewn together themselves and haven't spent many hours on. But, like, these were, like, detailed, like, super costumes.
Crazy detailed, yeah.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see. I watched the conference for Blizzard for a while, and it was actually really, really cool. But the biggest stories that I thought were really cool out of Gamescom is we got to see a new trailer for Devil May Cry 5, which I know you're not a huge fan of the series, but I still am. But it was kind of refreshing to see that it kind of is taking it back to its roots. So we saw the return of...
It definitely looked cool.
Yeah.
I mean I'll give it that.
Looked amazing. But, I mean, we saw the return of Nero and Dante. They showed this, like, really over-the-top action-filled cut sequence to where, like, there was a part where Dante can split his motorcycle in half and use it as a weapon, which was really weird. I don't really have a ton of information, obviously. I would say if you want to see the trailers, go to our Twitter page, because I promise you, like, I posted just a ton of trailers from Gamescom up on our Twitter page. So we're just at Dad's... what are we? I don't even remember anymore. Twitter. That's pretty bad, actually. I'm sorry. My mind went elsewhere. We are at Dad's Game Podcast. So come check us out, because I posted just a ton of trailers on our homepage. So follow us if you're not following us. Very cool, though. And then the next one, obviously, will have a lot of input on. CD Projekt Red.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Like, they did not show a ton of, like, game footage. Like, they, like, not really anything at all. Like, we didn't see a new trailer. No. We saw a ton of new concept art, screenshots. I don't know where. I mean, is CD Projekt Red kind of becoming like the next Rockstar with their teases? I mean, you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, the way that it works is they said the best thing that they can do is not really show the footage that they're showing behind closed doors to the general public.
Yeah.
Because as good as the people that are, behind the scenes seeing it, those people, it lets them see it, but at the same time, those areas and everything, they're still not the way that they want everybody to see them.
Right.
So they said that the game is currently playable from start to finish, that at this point that they're just loading in all the extra assets they need to do and doing all their debugging and making sure that the game works from start to finish for every path that you could possibly take.
Right.
So the fact that they've been working on it for so long just shows you that they're at a point now where they're doing their QC, and they show just a few pictures that they let us all see. Just they look wonderful, and then everybody that came away at Gamescom, they showed the same hour-long, hands-off gameplay.
Yeah.
They did it again behind closed doors, and so again, everybody just gushes and says that until you sit down and watch them play it, even though you don't get to play it, it leaves you just desperate for more.
Right.
So, I mean, if you can give me something as amazing as what The Witcher 3 was in the scope and the sense and everything, the way that the game felt when you're in it, if you do that again, but in a cyberpunk way, it's gonna kill. I feel like
they will.
It's gonna make so much money. I know that they will because they're really devoted to making good games and making it feel the way that people expect it to feel.
Right.
So, but I feel like a lot more. I think a lot more people are into the Fallouts,
sure,
and games like that than there are into all of the swords and boards, magic and sorcery kind of stuff.
sure.
I mean, I guess you'd say that it plays both sides of the fence there, because there's lots of people that only like those games, but I think a lot more people really like the sci-fi stuff.
Well, but I think there's
there's
a healthy group for each category though. Like I honestly I think like I would say it's probably split 50-50 on that. Yeah.
I think that this game will bridge both of those groups though.
I think they
and
will,
you'll still have the people that like a good RPG, and it doesn't have to be in like a fantasy setting. It can be in a future setting,
right? And
I think it's going to pull in tons of people. So very exciting.
No, I mean anything that even a little crumb, anytime they show anything, because CD Projekt Red, I mean they've never made a bad video game ever. So I mean it's just, I'm excited. I would be super surprised obviously if they made this half-assed, which they're not. They're gonna do it. Full steam ahead, which I mean brings up another interesting point too that you said already. But they've already revealed that the game is ready to, it's playable from start to finish. Obviously, I would say cool your jets if you think you're gonna get the game soon. I mean, for one, it's CD Projekt Red, and they're gonna make sure that it's gonna be amazing. But I honestly, this is still my opinion, but I mean, a lot of people are saying the same thing. Same thing, that is. I don't think we're going to see this game until PlayStation 5. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They said that it will be playable on current gen consoles. They did say that, but whether that just means that it'll be like, yes, it will run on PS4 and Xbox One X and everything, but it will play optimally on the next generation of consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I guess we'll have to sort of wait and see.
That's all we can do.
What they say.
I did want to take a sidebar real quick though, about next generation consoles. I don't like being right, Will. I really don't. I would rather just tell you like that you're an idiot.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, I would just rather people telling me that Mike, you're an idiot, and you just say random things. But I do my research. I do try to pay attention to what the the market curve is doing. I don't know if you guys saw this in the news, but Xbox did announce that they are working on. Obviously they haven't announced all the details as of yet, but we've talked to our Microsoft rep that we know. He said that it's going to be amazing, but he couldn't give us any details either. He has to keep it hush hush. But it is confirmed that Microsoft will be switching over to the cell phone model, where they're going to offer 2-year contracts. I think the word is right now it's going to be like $34.99 a month, which is cell phone prices. But it'll be a 2-year contract, $34.99 a month. But they are going to start offering Xboxes with your contract. So if you get a 2-year contract now, you don't have to spend the initial price obviously on the system. You'll have Xbox and Xbox Game Pass all together, so you'll get all the brand new video games plus the system played on. I knew it was going to come. I'm kind of I called it a long time ago. Yeah, I basically said they're going to have to. Yeah.
But we were just talking about it the other day.
Yeah.
Like literally in like one of our last shows,
right.
We discussed it and said that is this going to be the way the cell phones go?
Right.
And yes,
apparently it is.
So you'll pay like depending upon which one you get, it would be like a $20 or $30 a month
service.
Fee for 2 years.
Right.
And after you've paid for 2 years, you own it.
Yeah.
But I mean I don't see that, honestly. It doesn't seem like a bad thing to me.
I think it's I think it's very smart though, because I mean, with Xbox One, the Game Pass plus the system, are you kidding me? Basically you get $35 a month and you pretty much play unlimited video games. Plus here's the system to do it on, and then you can still buy all the peripherals you want for your machine. That's smart. I don't care what you say. That's just smart. So.
Yep.
I'm kind of scared though to say anything else though, because I feel like they're now listening to our show. So they're like, complain
about. What else can we say? They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, complain about us, will you? I'll show you, Dad's That Game. I'll do exactly what I think I should do. Yeah. I think it's smart. I think it's interesting. But yeah, I thought when I read the story, I'm like, damn, dude. I was like, I hate being right. I was like, I really do. I was like, I
being right, but of course we are right.
Well, I was right. I felt it coming for the longest time, and when you see the trend in market patterns, they're like, we want to do a new system every 2 years. I'm like, okay, great. Then we're not buying a brand new system every year. You're going to go to basically a rental. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're leasing your systems now, which is fine. I mean, I don't care doing it, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the contract terms and things like that. I would like to see. So obviously, before you commit to anything like that, please make sure you
always do your research.
Research it and read the contract.
Yeah.
Right. Don't just jump into a contract not knowing what you're getting yourself into. But continuing on, obviously, with Gamescom, sorry to sidebar there, but I thought it was interesting. Especially, I just honestly like, especially if they were thinking about going the online model, I just totally see it. So, but we'll continue on with our coverage of Gamescom here. Obviously, the next thing that Blizzard actually, obviously Blizzard had this amazing costume contest, but also they treated Overwatch fans to another character trailer. So here's the dispute on her name. It's D.Va. So it's a lot of people just call her Diva. I say DVA. Yeah. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I say DVA. But yeah. I think honestly it is Diva.
Diva. Yeah.
Like
Diva.
D dot.
Yeah. D.Va. Diva. I got it. Okay. So, but whatever. Because I was playing Overwatch the other day and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be DVA, and they're like, who? And they're like, oh, Diva. Okay.
You mean this, you old man that doesn't know how to pronounce things?
Pretty much, yeah. I still play StarCraft too. Make fun of me now. Yeah, so shut up. But basically they have another hero trailer for her. Interesting. So they keep on. I mean, they did this with Reinhardt. They did this with what was it? The Doomfist, I believe. I'm not sure who all has one right now. No, it was Tracer. Tracer had one. Yeah. So yeah, now they're doing it with Diva. So there you go. And I said it right this time. But they also said that they revealed the new map set for South Korea and things like that. So it was pretty cool overall to actually watch their conference. So I did enjoy it. It was actually pretty neat. They had a massive stage. Dear God, just massive. I mean, it was just huge. So way bigger than the ones they have at I mean, the one that they have at obviously BlizzCon is massive too, but this one was like it went on for like a mile. So it was like the whole like right side of the building was just a stage. So but moving on, if you were hoping to play obviously Shenmue 3 this year, then you're unfortunately going to be in for a bit of a disappointment. It was revealed that the long-awaited title release will be April 27th of 2019. It's not close. Obviously, that's a good another 8 months away. I mean, at least it's a release date, is all I can say. The only thing that I'm kind of scared about, though, and actually we talked about this on the Drinks with Friends podcast. It really still looks like it's on the generation that it first came out on, which was Sega CD. Yeah. It still looks that way, and I don't know if they're going for artist interpretation of like this is the game, the way we want our game to work or look. It doesn't look impressive, is all I gotta say. Like it honestly looks straight out of Sega Dreamcast days. And I guess that's concerning. I don't know what to say. If you're a Shenmue fan, I don't think you're going to care. Obviously, you've been waiting for the third installment of this chapter forever. I feel like it's the Kingdom Hearts of its, genre, where you've been waiting, 10 plus years for the next game. But it just, it just didn't blow me away, is all I'm saying. So
right, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, so and I love the first two Shenmue games. If you've ever played them, awesome that you're that old to enjoy those. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But also, if you're a fan of the old Tenchu games, you really should be excited for this next one. Obviously, from Software's Sekiro Shadow, The Shadows Die Twice. Obviously, it's from, obviously it has From Software title, so it's going to be amazing. They did get a release date on that one, too. It's March 22nd of 2019, so very, very cool. I don't know. We were just talking about this off air before we actually started the show. At what point do you keep making these games harder and harder? Because this is going to be in the same category. I'm going to say category because I'm not going to compare it to Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Neo.
Right. It's a different game.
Yeah, it's a totally different game. But the difficulty factor. Yeah, I mean, because it's a Tenchu game. So it's just, at what point do you basically like just keep on trying to outdo your competition, where they're like, we'll just try to keep it, getting it harder and harder and harder until it's unplayable. So I mean, I don't know where the fine line is, I guess, on those games.
And
so.
I don't want to hear the whole "ooh, get good." You know what? There's a time, there's a point where you step back and you say, you know what? I am good.
Right.
I've beaten every all the Dark Souls games.
Right,
I've beaten Bloodborne.
Right.
I've gone through all of them and completed the whole thing and got every boss down.
Yeah.
Even the hidden ones. So I know how to do that stuff. But then there's games like Neo where the difficulty was so spiked in random spots where it's like I actually couldn't finish it because I couldn't figure out why there was like a boss I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't beat no matter what I tried.
Well, and I know it's all about patterns and learning it and basically taking advantage of certain strike points and things like that. But it's just like I agree with you. Like I could not finish Neo at all. And I finally got to a point where it's like I got to the boss where it's like you die a billion times. Like this is not fun anymore. Like it's like I love the artistry, the environments are beautiful, super beautiful. It's just you take the fun factor right out of it and you got nothing. Yeah. So
there was so much of that game that was great. But the difference between a typical Souls game and that game was there's patterns, like you say, and but everything is fair but difficult. Whereas that game, it actually felt like it wasn't fair at some point because you were doing what you thought was right, yet the boss hits you once and you're dead.
You're just gone.
And
One hit.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'll give obviously. I think any of these games that are developed like this are just, beautiful environments. Dark Souls is beautiful. Bloodborne, Neo, The Surge. I mean, I'll throw that all together in the same category. Amazing, amazing, amazing games. Beautiful backgrounds. Beautiful artistry. Gameplay is tough as nails, though. So, if you're into it and you're like Torment and things like that, this may be the game for you. I'll give it a chance. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if there'll be a demo at any point in time. Maybe check out the demo before you invest in a full $60 game like that. But or wait for good sale. But might be worth a check out. So it looks beautiful. I mean, just the trailer and just the environment just looks amazing. But I guarantee it's gonna be a tough game. So, but then the next thing I wanted to bring up was DICE came through with 2 Battlefield 5 trailers. The first focuses on the gameplay's campaign mode, which is still exciting to hear they're still investing in the campaign, while the second centers on the importance of squad building and multiplayer. Battlefield titles aren't exactly known for their gripping narrative, but it seems like DICE is really trying to create something memorable this time around. With that being said, the real heart of the soul of the game is going to be in the multiplayer. They showed a lot of the multiplayer this time around. They had, they're bringing back kind of the Juggernaut system. I'm sorry, not the Juggernaut system, but they're going against the Juggernaut. Obviously, Call of Duty. I mean, obviously these guys are, these are mortal enemies. I would say in gaming companies, it's always Call of Duty versus Battlefield. But I have to give it to Battlefield. Like I enjoyed the Call of Duty Black Ops beta. I think it's amazing. I think what they're doing with the game is amazing. That they brought it back to boots on the ground and got rid of, the silly and ridiculousness and put back to 3 lanes, and the control of the map was the important part. But when I saw the trailer for Battlefield, I'm like, oh my God, it's like, I felt like, I've been playing Battlefield 1 again on PC with like max graphics. And I'm like, these guys did just a superb job on this. And that's actually, I joined the EA Premier thing, because I wanted the EA games, especially one of these, and obviously, what's the other one? The Destiny spinoff, I guess. What is the other one coming out?
Anthem.
Anthem. Yeah, that was the reason I joined the EA club. I mean, it was $100 a year for the year, which is pretty cool considering all the games you're going to get out of it. But they have Battlefield 1 up on the EA Premier, and I've been playing it again on my PC. And it looks Battlefield 5. I mean, just takes that to the next level. I mean, I saw a dogfight, in the air, and it brings all the great things about Battlefield and the beautiful environments and the destructiveness of, war all into one package. And just, I always hate it because I do like Call of Duty because I have friends that play Call of Duty, but I always lean slightly towards Battlefield every time. I love Battlefield. It's just it's a fun game. So,
And I feel like that. I feel like, honestly, if I have to play one of those games, I'll pick Battlefield over Call of Duty, because I honestly I feel like Battlefields are. I feel like they're just better done.
Yeah.
I mean that. I know the people that love Call of Duty just love their Call of Duty, but I really think that the way that they do the Battlefield games, it's like so much attention to detail.
Yeah. Well, and
Plus,
I love how, I mean, I just love DICE as a company. Like, DICE is probably one of the best companies out there to work for, and the ones that just make top-end games. And obviously not that Activision is bad, but Activision and kind of Sledgehammer Games, I mean, they had to split the division so they could compete with DICE. I mean, if you have to think about that, two companies are making one video game to compete with one company that's making one video game. Right. And they're, I think DICE can do it better, so think about it that way. Because, I mean, you have Activision and Sledgehammer are responsible for the Call of Duty games, and they switch off, every other year. So they can keep pumping out these video games, but yet DICE can pump out these video games all by themselves. And I know DICE is a huge company, but I just think, I just always thought that was interesting. But, I mean, I think, like, DICE actually, I mean, like, listen, they're a fan, like, it's like they're putting, I mean, they understand obviously the importance of like all players. Like they understand like people want a single player game. Some people do, not everybody does. People want a multiplayer game. People want a battle royale game. People want, different kinds of modes. And I know like Call of Duty has like zombies and things like that, which Battlefield's not, crossed the threshold on that as of yet. Hopefully never, because I don't think they need to. But they're putting in this battle royale mode, but then, it's like they also have, their single player and their multiplayer, and the multiplayer just looks intense, and it just looks beautiful. So I have to give it to them. I'm sorry. I'm not a fanboy of anybody or anything, but I do respect DICE. So definitely do respect them. But then to finish out the stories here, the Soul Calibur 6, it was interesting because they had a very, very honest conversation with the developer of Soul Calibur 6, and he basically stated to the rep that was interviewing him, he said that if Soul Calibur 6 does not do well, because it's been about 6 years since Soul Calibur 5. Soul Calibur 5 was really cool. It was a really cool fighting game. But he said if Soul Calibur 6 does not do well, this could be the last Soul Calibur game ever. Here's the deal. Here's the deal, though. And this is why I think Soul Calibur 6 is going to be fine. And I think there'll be other games. Esports was not as big as it is now. Yeah. As it is now. Yeah. Esports is huge now. Like fighting competitions are popping up everywhere. I'm proud to be a part of that right now with Names and Pros. They are popping up left and right. Just convention, Midwest esports gaming, just esports gaming all together, all over the place. 6 years ago, it was in our infancy. Here in America, that is. Obviously, over in Europe, it's always been huge. America has really caught that fire, though, to understand, like...
catching up and booming.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Like, this is, something to pay attention to. Which is just fantastic to be a part of, on the ground floor. So, yeah, just amazing to be a part of. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun because I've already, people in the gaming community, I remember when we went to Combo Breaker and we got to play the demo of the game, me and my buddy Rich, we did. I loved it. It was just fantastic. I did not get to play Geralt. You said you played it at PAX East. And, I thought it was fantastic, and I think it's going to be a fantastic esports game. So
yeah, I thought it was definitely cool, and I mean, I've liked fighting games my whole life.
Yeah.
I've owned my share of Tekkens and all of those.
Right.
I think my problem is like nowadays when it's no longer like a couch game where you play with your buddies, and everybody comes over and you do it, and instead now you play online with random people.
Yeah.
To me, it's not the same as the feeling I got when I was in my 20s and doing it.
Right.
And so I don't buy them anymore just because of that.
Well, and I think that's why like the esports community right now, like, because like even with like Battlegrounds, like we're trying to bring back that feeling of playing together like on your couch. Like that's kind of like the
cool.
like the thing we used to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, we actually have something like that coming up, and it's, I think, honestly, for the first time ever in this area, a local shop here from a town called Taunton, place called Bowser's Basement, and they buy and sell all retro consoles, and they do other stuff too, like they'll buy cabinets and you name it, but they're teaming up with a local bar called the Speedwell, and they're going to have a retro game night. So you go, you have some drinks, play some games with your friends. And so I feel like we need more of that here too.
Yeah.
Like how you guys are doing it. So, who knows what'll happen.
Well, and that's what we say. Who knows what's going to happen, but we're having fun doing it in the meantime. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yep. But the other cool news too, and we'll finish the show on this, but Nintendo dropped some big news too. They showed off their new characters, obviously Dark Samus, Ridley, Chrom, and Lucina. Chrom and Lucina, I don't think they were in the last Smash Brothers, but they're bringing them in this one. There really isn't a lot more I can say about Smash Brothers besides everybody and their mothers probably already pre-ordered it. But I'm excited. We were actually talking last night with Brian, and we already plan the month that it's out. It's coming out in December, so I think in January we're going to try to hold the tournament for just Smash Brothers. Like, we're going to turn Battlegrounds into just a big Smash Brothers tournament. So it should be really cool. But the other thing too that Nintendo Switch announced too is that they are going to hook up with what is the name of the company? I totally lost it. It's a comic book, digital comic book company.
Inky something.
Inky, yeah, something. I remember the name. I'm trying to look for it.
I can't.
Maybe we should read the article. Inky Pen.
Yeah, maybe,
Sorry.
Yeah. Inky Pen.
It usually helps when you read. But they said for $8 a month, they're gonna put the app on Nintendo starting in November. You can read any comic you want to. So
that's awesome.
That's actually really smart. I mean, video games are pop culture. I mean, you can hate them if you want to, but I mean, it is part of pop culture now. And I mean, I just think it'd be really cool. I mean, obviously, Nintendo Switch was built for taking things on the go, and you can read your comics on the go now. So fantastic.
That's definitely cool.
Yeah. So, but that's all the stories, honestly, we had for the week. Obviously, I hated being a downer at the beginning, but honestly, just things had to be said, and just know that we love you. I mean, honestly, I may have never met you, but I mean, if you're a part of our community, even if you're not a part of our community, if you want to be a part of this community, please do. The only person holding you back is you for being included. So don't feel afraid, and we're out there to just offer any support we can give anybody. If you're just feeling down, or if you just want somebody to talk to, please let us know, because we're here. Like I said, life is worth living. It's the biggest adventure that you'll ever, face. One time you'll be, sometimes you're gonna be. I have to go back to my favorite quote, and it's from a cheesy movie, The Count of Monte Cristo. The movie that they did with Jim Caviezel and things like that. But the one line that's always stuck with me throughout my whole life, and he said this. He said, "Life is a storm." He said that at one moment, you're going to be basking, in its glory and just seeing how powerful it is, and then another time it's going to thrash you against the rocks. But it's what you do at the times of uncertainty that make you a person and make you, well, he said a man at the time, but just make you a person, And I have to just offer that to anybody, if you're feeling down and you feel like this is going to be an outlet for you to pick up a gun and go harm other people because you had a bad day, I can give you a million different alternatives. So please reach out to us if you're a person, that is thinking this way, or obviously just somebody that if you just want to feel included in something, please just let us know, because we are here.
Absolutely.
Yep. But we got to get out of here. That was our time. We do love you. We'll talk to you next week. We will be back. I will be back from Kansas City. So my fun trip from Kansas City, we'll talk about it. Not really. It's going to be mostly just work. So, but I'm sure we'll go. We'll I have a friend going down with me, so I'm actually pretty excited, and we'll go check out a lot of cool stuff. So, but Will be rocking out at more Mighty Mighty Boss Stones concerts, I hope. I saw your pictures. They look pretty cool. So
it was definitely a fun time.
Yeah. So you see, that you can't do that if you're dead. I'm sorry. So please, please don't cheat people out of that, and don't cheat yourself out of that. So, but we love you, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to the Dads That Game radio podcast. Email us your questions and hate mail to dadsthatgamepodcast@gmail.com.